It took me a few seconds to recover from the shock. Even though I hated my father, I never expected to see him in a place like this. He looked like he had been through hell, and he needed help, so I removed his chains and took him outside. I put him in the back seat of the car, and when Toby also got in, I drove off. I needed answers about everything, but first I had to get him to a hospital. So I was driving very fast, and when I was about to get out of that town, I saw that guy just standing there. He was looking at me. It was like seeing a nightmare all over again. I didn't know what to do, and my father was trying to say something again. But this time, I could hear it. A werewolf! I don't know why he said that, but I was getting so close to where the guy was standing. So I hoped he didn't do anything crazy. But when I passed him, to my surprise, he didn't do anything at all. He just looked at me. I thought we were safe, but then I could hear a strange sound coming from the back seat. So I looked back, and what I saw made me scream. I couldn't see my father anymore, but instead there was a freaking werewolf. It tried to grab me, which led me to turn the wheels of my car. I don't remember anything after that. I woke up after a few days in a hospital, and I saw that creepy dude again. I was so scared that he was going to do something to me. I didn't know what to believe anymore. I was so confused. I asked him about who he was, and the nightmare happened last night. Then, he told me the whole story. He was my father's friend, Richard, and it all started when my father came to his apartment. He was bleeding from a terrible wound. Richard was a doctor, but he has never treated anyone with such a wound. Even so, he treated him with proper medical care, and he rested in his apartment for a few days. After that, there were a lot of changes that happened to my father. Like he's aggressive all the time, couldn't sleep at all, and one night, he went to my father's room, hearing some strange noises, and he saw that his best friend became this horrific creature. He was terrified. But after that, my father ran away. He was back home, but ran from us too, because he knew that maybe he could hurt us. My father never told Richard how he got this curse, but he told him one thing though, that this curse can be transferred to another person. That's why, for a long time, he shut himself from the outside world and lived in that abandoned town, so that no others have to suffer like this. And when Richard found him again, he was in terrible shape. And I realized after all these years that the actual reason why my dad left my mom and me was that he loved us. Anyway, it was a crazy story, but from what I've witnessed, it was convincing. And in the end, I got my dog back, and I knew the truth about my father. I don't know how the hell am I going to explain all of this to my mother, but remembering something made a chill pass through my spine. The wound on my left shoulder. The doctor said it was from the accident, but it wasn't.